So a few weeks back, I made a video about the fact that even though as an animator, we have to actually be very skilled and we have to focus on our skills and all that stuff, we need to also think about our ideas as we actually go through our journey. Most companies, even though they initially hire you for your skill, they actually want your ideas ultimately, right? So I would like to talk to you guys a little bit more about exactly what I think when it comes to this ideas versus skill, because ideas is ultimately what's going to get you far, and I'll explain why in just a second. Let's get to it. All right, welcome. So my name is Harvey Newman. For those that are new to the channel, I have seen an influx of new subscribers, so thanks very much to everybody that have subscribed as of late, and make sure you stick around because there's lots of this content and much more coming through very soon. Now, when it comes to actually having skills and having ideas is something that actually is quite, not controversial, but not talked about enough, I think, right? Because if you think about it, in the games industry or film industry or VFX, what you see is normally an amazing movie, an amazing TV series, or an amazing game, and then you obviously are amazed about the skills that it took to get this game out the door, right? So let's say the latest God of War, or let's say The Last of Us, they are amazing games to look at and technical marvels, because when you play it, you see things and you do things that you haven't done before in any other game, and you're like, wow, how did they do this, right? So normally everybody is kind of wondering how did the artists or the coders, the engineers have done certain things, because obviously this is pushing the boundaries. So if you pair that with the fact that obviously these companies need to hire people and you need to actually have certain skills to be hired, you have a tendency to think that if you are outside, you need to be the best technical artist or engineer in order to get into these industries. And that is kind of half of the truth. Is true. You need to be incredibly skilled and you need to know your skills very well. So if you're an animator, you need to be a very skilled animator, know the 12 principles of animation and know them really, really well, and actually excel at having your animation skills on display for them to see so they can hire you, right? But the other part of the equation, and this is the part that I think that a lot of people forget about, right, is ideas, right? How do you think about animation, about games, about your life, the decision making, and all that stuff? So this is something that is actually becoming more and more prevalent, because when you hear stories of how Elon Musk hires people or how Steve Jobs used to hire people, 9 times out of 10, they are not really interested in the skills of the person. They are interested in the background of the person and their decision making and what kind of person are they. And that is kind of like contradictory to what is involved for the job, right? Because when you start working in a place, then obviously, if you are an engineer, you better be the best engineer ever. Or if you are an artist, you better be the best artist ever. But these people, when they actually are hiring them, they are focusing on the personality more than the actual skills. And here's the thing. I think skills can only take you so far, right? Skills are incredibly good to have, but a lot of people can be as skilled as you are. Ultimately, what is going to make you excel as an artist, engineer, or whatever profession you have is going to be how you think about the decisions and the problems that you're going to have to tackle as you evolve as a professional, right? And this is why I think people like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs or whatever, they actually kind of focus on the personality of the person more than the skills, because the skills can only take you so far. If you want to break through that ceiling of being truly exceptional, you need to focus on the person itself and how they think, right? Basically what I'm trying to say is that good companies out there, they hire you for your ideas more than your skills, right? Skills get you through the door, but your ideas are going to be the thing that makes you stay in the company and excel in the company, right? So this all to say that as you work in your showreel, as you work in your skills as an animator, as you become a better animator, never forget that the ideas that you put in your showreel, the ideas that you come up with, the solutions that you come up with for your showreel, those are the things that are going to actually make you stand out from the rest. Most showreels out there kind of look the same, right? Most people are trying to kind of like hit certain bullet points on a showreel because this is basically what the ideal showreel is. Now, if you and everybody else is trying to do the ideal showreel, then no showreel is ideal because every showreel is exactly the same way, right? So you need to exercise your skills and ideas and put yourself out there to make sure that you make something that is completely different than what's out there already, right? So this is basically like, if you think about a walk cycles are very important in games, right? To showcase that you can do a good walk cycle. But instead of just doing a regular walk cycle, make a walk cycle with purpose, right? Give it a context, give it a beginning, middle, and end, right? Entertain me when I see it, and make sure that you have an idea that is so cool that I want to rewind it and see it again, right? This is basically your business card to any business, to any place that you actually apply yourself to, because they cannot talk to you directly. The very first thing they do, that they see of you, is going to be a resume or is going to be a showreel. And 9 times out of 10 on a visual industry like we have right now, people like myself, we have a tendency to not even look at the resume, we just look at the showreel because we want to see the skills first, and then we want to get to know the person after, right? So your showreel, your portfolio is basically your business card. Obviously, first impressions are everything, so you want to make sure that you make a good impression. So make sure that whatever ideas you have, you go above and beyond. Make sure that your skills are on display, but more than anything, make sure your ideas are on display, because if I actually see a good showreel full of great ideas, I want to speak to you to get to know you as a person, so I can see if you actually gel and kind of merge within the company that I'm working for. And if I sit you on a chair and I hire you, then you are there for your ideas more than your skills, right? So I can actually spitball with you and be like, so what do you think about this thing, right? You have any ideas? What do you think about this other thing, right? Any ideas? That is basically the kind of people that I want to work with, because that excites me, and I don't want to be the one guy that actually has all the ideas. I want to have a team that has ideas together with me, so we can actually make whatever product we're making much better. And that's about it. So if you enjoy this, if this was useful to you, if you feel inspired by this, definitely hit the like button, definitely subscribe if you haven't so far, and drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you're actually more in the camp of executing or ideas, and how do you feel about all this idea versus execution, right? Shout out to my Patreons that support me every single month. If you like to support me even more, definitely head over to my Patreon, check out my perks, plenty of stuff there. And if you do, I would highly appreciate it, because every single dime that I get goes back into this channel to make it better every single week. And that's all I had for you guys. I'll see you guys next week, and until then, stay well, stay safe. Peace.